Hey Cameron, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Um, what is it about this defense that has allowed you guys to perform as well as you have at this back end of the season?
I feel like some of the games we didn't perform as well as we should have, and as it went on down the line, um, like with practice and stuff, I felt like we prepared way more better as the season continued. So,
And then the defensive line has gotten way more pressure on the quarterback lately. What what has changed for you guys up front that has allowed you to do that?
um, really, we was missing a whole lot of sacks. Like we was getting there, but we just weren't finishing, and the time like we was talking about it and we was just like we gotta cage the quarterback in and finish plays and um as the time went on like we was just getting pressure and kept getting pressure and kept making sacks. So
And then you guys have also gotten a couple of interceptions. Uh, do you think part of that is because of the pressure that you guys have been able to get on quarterbacks to kind of put them in situations to make those bad decisions?
yes sir, I feel like we get our hand in their face, in the quarterback face, they really can't throw the ball like how they want to. So really, like long as we getting pressure in their face and they throwing the ball to us, I feel like this helping us a lot too.
I appreciate you.
Evan and then Tyler.
So Cameron, I'm curious, as one of the young guys on this group, you understand the standard of bowl games being expected here. So do you as a young guy feel that pressure that, hey, we need to win one of these next two games to keep that standard?
Yeah, I feel it a lot. I feel like we gonna win these next two games. We just got to keep on preparing like how we've been preparing, and go out there and just execute on offense, defense, and special team.
When you hear that word execute, it seems like everyone's been using that word now. This more in these last few weeks. What exactly do you guys need to do to execute better, you think?
Um, I feel like we just got to keep on preparing good, working hard. Like Sean said, everybody do their job, and we just go get it done.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that happened better against SMU than ECU, you think?
I feel like we executed against both teams. Against ECU, I mean, it didn't turn out how we wanted it, but I feel like all three phases executed real good.
Gotcha. And so when you guys look at this Houston team, obviously this offense is loaded like SMU is. They're scoring a lot of points. How do you guys think you can try to slow them down, just like you slowed down SMU?
I feel like we get pressure on the quarterback, stop the run, and I mean, just do our job, and we'll stop them.
How do they compare challenge-wise? Obviously, SMU had their receivers, but it seems like Houston, they just put up a lot of points. So what do you see are the differences between these two teams?
SMU they had a good squad. Um, Houston has a lot of weapons too. I think they got a couple transfers, but then they got the wide receiver from last year. So they got a couple players who came back from last year.
So you see them both as kind of being similar in terms of just personnel being explosive a little bit.
Yes,
Cool. All right. Thank you, Cameron.
Tyler.
Hey, Cameron, thanks for doing this. Is this the role and the level of success that you envisioned when you were getting recruited to Memphis? Because I know you had a lot of offers, but this is, I think maybe this you disagree, but I think this last game we saw you, that's maybe your best game you played in a Tiger uniform to date. Is this kind of where you thought you'd be along the path at this point?
Yes, sir. How can I say this? I feel like I came out and played a good game against ECU. I feel like I came and brought some energy on the defense too, because we really just didn't have a lot of energy at first. So I feel like I brought a whole lot of energy when I made the sack. So
What have you learned from Coach Pope that's made you better in the time that you've been here?
really just doing my job and like, what you talking like with football wise?
Yeah. Well, any you can speak to anything, but football on off field, anything.
On the field, like just doing what I gotta do, go 100% every play, and but that's really it with football.
It sounded
Yeah.
like there was something else you wanted to mention off the field.
But off the field, just really just being smart and being a responsible person, really.
How do you do that?
Like getting to study hall on time, getting to class, doing your work on time, all that.
Football wise, was being on the field for like 102 snaps or some share of 102 snaps, is that in your memory, is that the longest you've ever seen a defense be on field?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Did it tire you out towards the end of the game, or do you feel like people were rested enough and they were rotating enough where people could still make plays?
I feel like we was rested enough and rotating where people can still go in and make plays.
What would you do differently against Houston, if anything?
Oh, what would I do differently? Like I said before, we're gonna execute and go out there and do our job.
And as a young guy, I think it's kind of been you and Zy Brockton a little bit who've gotten in there in the rotation lately. How cool is it, or how fun is it to have a guy who's a little bit closer to your age, and maybe to have you guys starting to take over some leadership in that defensive line unit, as you got a lot of older guys that might not be there in years to come?
It's fun having playing by Zy, knowing we the same age, and like I be telling him, like we got to step up and start being leaders. But it's fun playing beside him.
That's it for me.
All right, thanks, Cameron. Thanks, everybody.